Welcome to Your Childhood is Over. No, it's not. Where we discuss how people from an abusive childhood are likely to recreate abuse in their adult lives through what's called repetition compulsion. My name is Dr. Annette Hunter. I'm a medical doctor. The contents here are my opinion. If you feel emotionally overwhelmed or you have any thoughts of self-harm, please consult a qualified therapist or your doctor immediately. Thank you.
Hello, welcome back to Your Childhood is Over. No, it's not. I hope you like dogs, and the reason I say that is because I'm actually in a room with three dogs. They're my three wise tails, and one of them keeps snoring, and one of them keeps shifting around on the couch. So I put off making this video for hours because I kept wanting silence, but you know what? I'm not going to achieve silence. If I put them in the other room, one of them will start scratching at the door. So if you hear noises in the background or say somebody snoring, it's my dogs, and the snorer in the house is little Dottie. So today I just want to go through a few things with you. And again, before I get into the tales of repetition compulsion, I'm kind of setting the foundation as to how I'm going to approach that. I think the best way to explain repetition compulsion is to give examples that relate to our everyday lives. There's no point in getting bogged down in academic theory. That means nothing to me. I want to know, how does repetition relate to my life, and how can I stop that happening? So I divide our lives into 8 main sections, and they would be work, family roles, finances, relationships, health, self-care, learning and achievements, personal goals or projects, and social and community interactions. And then I spoke in a short about the 6 types of bad messages that we take from an abusive childhood. And those messages are: you are not enough, you are responsible for me and others, don't trust what you feel, don't listen to your instincts, you are bad, you are wrong, you are nothing and nobody cares about you, and the last one, you must be perfect or nobody will love you. So if I look at the main sections in our lives and I show each bad message in relation to that section, I will be able to show you examples of how combining the two, repetition compulsion, impacts our lives, and how those bad messages keep us stuck in repetition compulsion. But there is hope. There is hope. The reason I wrote the book, Your Childhood is Over, No, It's Not, and the reason I set up this channel is because repetition compulsion controlled my life for a long time. I know I've said it before, but I was in my mid-40s when I eventually learned about it. And it was only that I went to a clued-in therapist. Now, at that stage, I had begun to ask, am I doing something wrong? Because I was kind of making the same mistakes over and over. And I began to think, God, I must be doing something here. And when I asked the therapist that, they just said, yeah, you are. It's repetition compulsion. You are doing something wrong. And by then, you know, I'd made lots of bad choices, lots of bad decisions. My personal life was a series of disasters. I was so ashamed of myself. I was so ashamed of my life. I'll be honest, I hid away for a long time, because I was so ashamed of how things had gone for me. So things started to change for the better as soon as I learned about repetition compulsion. And here I'm going to talk about healing, how to break this cycle. I looked at it for myself and I broke it down into 3 areas. And the first way to healing is awareness. Now that might sound really obvious, but it's vital, because remember that repetition compulsion is a subconscious psychological process. And by subconscious, that means you're not aware of it. You've no control over it. So when you become aware of repetition compulsion, and that happens by somebody just telling you what it is, you're suddenly in control. The tables are turned. You are now in control. You've gone from it being a subconscious process to a conscious process, and you can control what is conscious. You can't control what's subconscious. So that's fantastic. So awareness, again, it might seem so obvious, but it's really important. And if nobody tells you about repetition compulsion, how are you ever going to be aware of it in your life? The second way for me in healing was to acknowledge my instincts and to listen to them. And as children who come from abusive childhoods, we are actually told to ignore our instincts. We're told not to feel, not to think and not to feel. And we cut off our instincts. We don't even know what they are. We don't even know we have instincts. So that to me was a difficult part of healing. learning what instincts are and learning when to hear them and how to listen to them and to actually believe that they're right, because instincts are there to protect us. And if, as I used to, I never listened to my instincts, I shrugged them off, I got myself into terrible trouble. So listening to your instincts and trusting them, it really makes a difference to your life in a good way. And the third way, and again, it sounds so obvious, is to turn the tables on the bad messages. Replace them with good messages. And I worked at this really hard. And every time a thought would come into my head, like, God, you're useless, you're a bloody piece of shit, excuse me for cursing, I would go, wait, stop the lights. I'm actually okay. Yeah, I've made mistakes and things haven't been great, but you know what? I know what I'm doing now and I'm going to do a better job of it. I'm actually okay. I'm going to get control of this repetition compulsion. I'm okay. I am lovable. Some people do love me, and I have been successful in some things in my life, maybe not everything. So I'm trying to replace the bad messages with good messages. And you know, over time, I began to believe the good messages. It does work. Now, I think this is interesting, and it's kind of ironic, because in an ironic twist, if you look at how those three areas of healing, they actually involve repetition, because you don't switch on to trusting your instincts. You don't switch on to just listening to good messages. You have to actually practice it, i.e., you have to repeat it over and over again, i.e., it's going to be repetition. Aha! But there's a difference between this repetition and the other repetition. One is good, one is bad. Repetition compulsion is bad repetition because it takes us down bad, dysfunctional areas we don't want to go. It's bad. But this new way of repetition is good because, one, you're in control of it, right? And two, it's good. You're replacing the bad repetition with good repetition. And three, you choose to do it. You're not compelled to do it. Whereas you are compelled with repetition compulsion. That's the whole point. You're compelled to do it. But in this new type of repetition, where you're going to use those three healing areas that I spoke about, the repetition is good. And you have control over it. Why? Because it's conscious, and also you're not compelled to do it. I've given it a name. I know you probably think it's a bit silly, but I call it repetition by choice. Instead of repetition compulsion, let's call it repetition by choice. And when we keep repeating good patterns, we actually eventually banish the bad patterns of repetition compulsion. So we're just shifting, we're doing a twist, and we're replacing bad repetition with good repetition, using those three ways to heal. Yes, it takes practice, but you know, if you think about it, over all those years of your childhood, you had no control over it, but you were actually practicing how to think bad things about yourself, right? And get yourself into bad patterns of behavior and repeating the abuse you experienced in your childhood. So you're literally shifting the goalposts. Now, oh my God, I hope that made some sense to you. All right, I'm going to introduce you to the three wise tales who helped me through some really tough times in my life. All right. Now we're here to help you. Me and the three wise tales, Blossie, Dottie, and Petal. We're here to help you. I do want you all to find a better way of living. If you're stuck with repetition compulsion like I was, there is a way out, and that's what I'm here to help you with. And do you know why me and the three dogs want to do that? Yeah, I'll tell you why. Because we woof you. Yeah, will I say it again? We woof you. I know, it's a pathetic joke. I'm sorry. Okay, let's meet the three wise tales. Hello, my name is Petal. I'm 8 or maybe 9. I'm not really sure, but I had a tough start in life now, and I won't go into the details because they're not very pleasant. But one day this lady arrived at the kennel, the rescue kennel, and before I knew it, I was heading home in the car with her. And we got on really well. But I let you into a secret. I rescued her. She actually needed more rescuing than I did. I watched her going through some really hard times, and all because of repetition compulsion. But, you know, we worked on it and we got her through it. And I'm going to pass you on now to the next wise tale in the house. And his name is Blossie. Hello, my name is Blossie. I'm 12 years old. I'm really old for a greyhound. But I've had a great life. I had a very good childhood. And you know what? That really stood me because as I grew up, I knew how to listen to my instincts. Remember, that's the second way to heal, to listen to your instincts and to trust your instincts. Now, I've got great instincts. I always know when Annette is upset. And I can tell you she was upset for a long time when she was stuck in repetition compulsion because she kept making the same mistakes and getting herself into bad situations. Situations that really were very like her childhood. Now, if you're in the same area, I'm here to help. And I really want to help you. It's lovely to meet you. I have to go and get my teeth cleaned now because as a greyhound I have very bad teeth. And every night Annette cleans my teeth with toothpaste and a brush. Did you ever hear the like of it? A dog getting their teeth cleaned. But I can tell you, if I didn't get my teeth cleaned every night, I'd have no teeth left at this stage. And I still love to chewy chewies. I'm going to pass you on now to the snorer in the house. Dotty! Let me introduce you to Dotty.
Hello everybody out there, my name is Dotty. It's great to meet you. Well, listen to me, if you've got this far, you deserve a medal, and I'll tell you why. Annette's not that good on IT, and she got this microphone. It's just so muffled. She'll have to stop using it or find a better one. So if you've got this far and you've put up with the sound, you do deserve a medal. I'm the great entertainer. I spend all my day entertaining everybody, but I'm so tired at night I snore my head off. So there'll be times when Annette is doing a video that you'll hear me snoring in the background. Anyway, but I'll always wake up towards the end just to say hello to you and to try and cheer you up, because it is a heavy topic, repetition compulsion. It's heavy stuff. I'm like Blossie, I had a great childhood too, and my life is good, and I'm happy all the time. And I think I'm fantastic. That's the message I tell myself, that I'm fantastic, because I am. And that's what I want you to do. Remember, the third way of healing is to replace the bad messages with good messages. And you're going to do it, and I'm going to help you do it. Right, I'll sign off now, because you know why? I want to go back asleep and have some more snores. Night, bye.